Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the side events of the 5th World Congress of Biosphere Reserve. The theme of today's workshop is Enhancing Management, Synergy between Biosphere Reserve and other international designations in multi-international designations, called MIDAs. This side event is co-hosted by the Global Research and Training Center for Internationally Designated Area, called GCIDA, the MAB National Committee of the Republic of Korea, and the United States Biosphere Network. We are very pleased to have you here with us today, and I look forward to an engaging and fruitful time. Now, to begin our program, I would like to invite Mr. Myung-chul Oh, head of the Training and Communication team at GCIDA, to deliver the opening remarks of behalf of GCIDA's director. Please come.
안녕하십니까. GCIDA 훈련교류팀장 오명철입니다.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Myung-chul Oh, head of the Training and Communication team at the GCIDA.
갑작스런 건강 문제로 인하여 본 부대 행사 참석하지 못하신 GCIDA 이율범 센터장님 대신하여 대독하여 드리도록 하겠습니다.
It's my honor to deliver these opening remarks on behalf of Director Yulbom Lee, who is unfortunately unable to be here with us today due to an unexpected health issue.
존경하는 내 귀빈 여러분, 그리고 지속 가능한 미래를 향한 열정을 안고 오늘 이 뜻깊은 부대 행사에 귀한 발걸음을 해주신 세계 각국의 생물권 보전지역 관계자 여러분께 진심으로 감사의 말씀을 드립니다.
Distinguished guests, colleagues and friends from Biosphere Reserve around the world, thank you most sincerely for joining us today at this meaningful side events, bringing with you your passion and commitment to building a sustainable future.
세계 생물권 보전지역 총회는 10년에 한 번 전 세계 관계자들이 함께 모여 협력의 가치를 되새기고 모두가 공감할 수 있는 공동의 행동 계획을 만들어가는 매우 귀중한 자리입니다.
The World Congress of Biosphere Reserve, held only once every 10 years, is a truly invaluable occasion where the global community comes together to reaffirm the importance of cooperation and to shape a shared action plan for the decade ahead.
GCIDA는 2024년 제주도에 설립된 유네스코 카테고리 2센터로 국제적으로 인정받은 보호지역을 위하여 교육과 협력을 증진하기 위하여 설립되었습니다.
GCIDA was established in Jeju in 2024 as a UNESCO Category 2 center dedicated to supporting education, research, and collaboration for internationally designated areas.
또한 GCIDA는 국제보호지역 맞춤형 지원 서비스 제공, 미다스 정보 공유 허브 운영 등 체계적이고 혁신적인 연구와 훈련을 수행하는 글로벌 허브로서의 역할을 담당하고 있습니다.
As a global hub, GCIDA provides tailored support program, develops innovative training, and operates a knowledge-sharing platform on MIDAs to advance harmonized and effective management.
오늘 마련된 이 부대 행사는 미다스에 속한 생물권 보전 지역 간의 협력과 시너지 강화 방안을 모색하는 것을 목표로 하고 있습니다.
The purpose of today's event is to explore ways to strengthen cooperation and create synergy among Biosphere Reserve situated within MIDAS.
오늘 행사에 참석하신 여러분께서는 각자의 경험과 사례를 나누시면서 생물권 보전 지역에서 미다스라는 독특한 개념을 어떻게 활용할 수 있는지 함께 고민해 주시기를 바랍니다.
By sharing good practices and challenges, we hope to identify effective approaches for joint management and to encourage new partnerships and collaborative initiatives.
이 자리가 미다스 지역 관계자 간의 배움과 교류의 장이 되어 지속 가능 발전을 도모하는 소중한 계기가 되기를 진심으로 기대합니다.
It's my sincere hope that this gathering will serve as a platform for learning and exchange, opening new avenues of cooperation and contributing to our shared goal of conservation and sustainable development.
이상으로 GCIDA 이율범 센터장님의 개사 대독을 마치겠습니다. 감사합니다.
On behalf of Director Lee, I thank you once again for your presence and commitment. Thank you very much, Mr. Oh. Next, we will hear a welcoming remark from Mr. Jongwon Choi, Vice Chairperson of the MAB National Committee of Republic Korea and Executive Director of the Korea National Park Service. Mr. Choi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jongwon Choi. I serve as the Executive Director of the Korea National Park Service and also as the Vice Chairman of the MAB of Korea. It is my great honor and pleasure to warmly welcome you all to this meaningful event. The multi-internationally designated areas known as MIDAs, the number of MIDAs continues to increase. And we are presented the new opportunities as well as the challenges. Biosphere Reserve have long played a vital role in protecting the nature and culture of each region. When combined with other international designations, such as Global Geopark and World Heritage, their synergy can become even greater. In this context, today's workshop is both timely and significant. I especially hope that the discussion held here today will help guide the future direction of protected area management and broaden cooperation among member states. The Korea National Park Service and the MAB National Committee of Korea have been implementing diverse policies and field initiatives to conserve biodiversity and advance sustainable development. Also, we strengthen international solidarity and cooperation. I trust that the insights and experiences shared today will be very helpful to our direction and vitality to these efforts. I also hope that the gathering today will provide a valuable opportunity for all participants to exchange achievements and deepen cooperation. And finally, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to UNESCO and UNESCO MAB Secretariat and the Chinese Academy of Sciences, as well as GCIDA and USBN for their dedication in organizing today's event. It is my sincere hope today's meeting will make a meaningful contribution to our common goals of international cooperation and sustainable development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Choi, for your warm word. So our keynote presentation will be delivered by Dr. Sim Suk-kyung, Vice Chairperson of the MAB National Committee of the Republic of Korea and Chair of the International Advisory Committee for Biosphere Reserve. She will introduce the concept of MIDAs and discuss GCIDA's role in improving their management.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this side event. I was introduced just before. In addition to them, I'm also the member of the governing board of GCIDA. So I will include this part in my presentation. So I'm very honored to present on the topic of introduction to the MIDAS and the GCIDA's role in improving MIDAS management. My presentation will cover these points. First, I will briefly explain the definitions and talk about the challenges and opportunities of MIDAS, and also what should be improved in relating to the MIDAS. So let's begin with the definitions. IDAs is the abbreviation of the internationally designated areas. IDAs are defined as areas accorded international protection status through its recognition and designation under a recognized global or regional designation mechanism. This is definition. And we often say there are 4 representative international designations recognized by the international designating systems, which are Man and Bios Program, for us, as Biosphere Reserves, and World Heritage Sites, managed by, designated by World Heritage Convention, and UNESCO Global Geopark is recognized by International Geoscience and Geoparks Program. And lastly, a Ramsar site are designated by the Ramsar Convention on Wetland, you can see. And from this table, you can see map has the longest history with the Ramsars. So but sometimes some IDAs are overlapped, partially or fully. So we call them MIDAs, multi-internationally designated areas. You can see this diagram. So 4 colors stand for each international designation. So can you tell me which color stands for Biosphere Reserves? Because this is one situation of the MIDAs, but very, very common and typical situation. Which color do you think? Just guess. It's so difficult. Green, yes, green, because usually Biosphere Reserve cover other international designations often, or partially or fully. And in the core area of the Biosphere Reserves, usually there are World Heritage, Natural Heritage here. And then small blue ones, Ramsar sites can be, because usually Ramsar sites are smaller and scattered. And if the Biosphere Reserve have a geological feature inside, they can be overlapped partially with or fully global geopark. So I think many of you are familiar with this publication. This publication was came out in 2016 by IUCN and with a fund from the Ministry of Environment and Jeju provincial government of Republic of Korea. So as a follow-up of the IUCN's World Conservation Congress. And this is the first comprehensive report on the management of MIDAs, including the recommendation for stakeholders at each level. And I let you know that this publication will be updated and published soon. I heard that it will come out 2026 next year. And with the increase of IDAs, so overlaps between the IDAs are also rising, as you can see. So the first identification of the list and number of the MIDAs came out in 2016 with this publication, as I showed before. This publication identified that 263 areas are overlapped with doubled, tripled, or quadruple international designations. This table shows the number of IDAs and MIDAs according to this publication. I like to draw your attention to the Biosphere Reserves here. So among these other international designations, Biosphere Reserve has the highest number of the MIDAs there. These are the graphs to show frequency of multi-designated areas. This graph shows the double designated sites, and this shows triple designated sites. Also, you can see the biosphere reserves are often overlapped with the other international designations. Then, about the four complicated. Okay. So on the Jeju Island in Korea, all four designations overlap in precisely the same location. So, but we have to examine further and update. Maybe there might be other sites we have all four designations there. So we will see. So in that publication, we had all the number and all the list. So the list will be updated in having been updated this year. IUCN led this job in cooperation with the UNESCO Ramsar Convention sites, and they collected the data and number, etc., any kind of information relating to IDAs. So this will be updated soon, and this second edition of the publication will add also the globally important agricultural health system, which is called GIAS, designated by the FAO. So IUCN has more interest in the MIDAs with this GIAS. Yes, let's move on to the benefits and challenges. So MIDAs can have multiple benefits. So I will list. MIDAs can enhance national and international visibility and prestige of individual sites and increase pride of local communities about the recognition and increase resilience to threats and reinforce protection through international designations in addition to national legal laws and regulations. And also, they can strengthen the institutional basis and increase the public interest for the site protection against threats with the multiple protections. And also, MIDAS can increase branding value of the site, its products, and tourist numbers. So we see the many cases, a tourist number increase with the multiple designations. But on the other hand, the MIDAs have multiple challenges as well. So I like to highlight some key challenges MIDAs can have. First, governance fragmentation, no harmonized legal or administrative framework. There are some sites, some countries where all four international designations are managed by one single national authority like Vietnam, but the others have situations different. For instance, in the ROK, Republic of Korea, World Heritage are managed by Korea Heritage Service, and the other three international designations are managed by Ministry of Environment. Next, key challenge is different monitoring and reporting systems. So each designation requires different monitoring and evaluation with different reporting timelines, and this leads to duplication, inefficiency, and heavy workload of national authorities and site managers. For biosphere reserves, reporting cycle is 10 years, and for World Heritage, 6 years, UNESCO Geopark, 4 years, and Ramsar sites for 3 years at least. So a lot of difference. And next, there is also risk of confusion about the significance of each designation among local communities and visitors. The local communities and visitors might feel difficulty in identifying different logos and understanding distinct values and purposes of the international designations. Also, one designation can be perceived as a higher value, overshadowing the other designation of lower value. So despite these challenges, complexities, MIDAS can offer significant opportunities for synergy. So I like to emphasize possible synergies like this. Shared conservation goals across multiple designations can be coordinated through joint planning. So I brought a very good example in this regard from Cilento Vallo di Diano Biosphere Reserve in Italy. This biosphere reserve located in national park. In the national park, also World Cultural Heritage here, and UNESCO Global Geopark, even intangible cultural heritage are designated or recognized. So they developed this, you can see in this cover of the publication, developed UNESCO sites and recognitions, integrated management plan for this area. So this is one of good examples. And next, national and international funding can be more readily secured when fundraising efforts are coordinated among them instead of competition for funding. And next, conservation and management of MIDAs can be improved and harmonized through joint coordination mechanisms. In the case of Jeju Island Biosphere Reserve in Republic of Korea, and they operate a joint management committee and an integrated management structure for the 3 UNESCO designated sites. So to create synergy between international designations or improve the management of MIDAS, I think Biosphere Reserve can play an agent of MIDAS synergy, etc. So Biosphere Reserves are designed to implement 3 functions, as you know. So Biosphere Reserve can be effective to embrace and forge links with objectives of other international designations and coordinate multiple destination governance. And the MAP program promotes adaptive governance, stakeholder participation, and transdisciplinary approaches. These are the principles that are essential for also managing MIDAS. In addition, each biosphere reserve consists of 3 interrelated zones, core, buffer, transition zones. So this comprehensive spatial zonation gives more possibility to overlap with other designations. So as I shown on the other slide, the biosphere reserve have the highest number of the MIDAs. So these spatial and functional features allow biosphere reserves to act as a coordination frameworks for MIDAs. So if we want to promote the synergy or improvement of MIDAs, so we need some good enabling tools for that. So I list 3 here. MIDAS information platform for information or data sharing and spatial mapping of international designations. In relating to the spatial mapping, I was very pleased to see that UNESCO developed GIS platform for UNESCO 3 UNESCO designated sites, which is called UNESCO Sites Navigator. It was launched in July this year, so you can find out in website. But it will be improved, updated, but this is very good platform to see what the current status of UNESCO designated sites. And next, capacity building program. This is, of course, is very important. So MIDAS site managers or the national authorities need to be more capable to manage the MIDAS. and also the global or regional networks will be very useful, instrumental to facilitate the peer learning and policy exchange among national authorities and site managers. In this regard, I think the GCIDA, the Global Research and Training Center for International Designated Areas, which was introduced already in the opening remarks, can play an important role. This center is mandated to promote research, information sharing, trainings, exchanges for improving MIDAS management. So therefore, they plan to GCIDA plans to provide the platforms and tools to MIDAS stakeholders in cooperation with other partners. The first, GCIDA plans to provide instruments for MIDAS. The first one is establishment and operation of MIDAS information sharing hub. There is no comprehensive information sharing system covering all international designated frameworks and providing MIDAS-related status information resources until now. So the GCIDA plans to establish and operate MIDAS information sharing online hub. This hub will provide one-stop information sharing platform on all 4 international designations, as well as MIDAS. And second, the plan is to provide customized capacity building program for MIDAS and MIDAS. So this program will be demand-driven, tailor support style, and they can be provided online or on-site. So in line with the conditions and needs of the countries and size. So this will be also linked with GCIDA's regular training workshops, and there will be an online system for this program. And finally, they also plan to operate the MIDAS network. No global or regional networks for the MIDAS exist yet. So MIDAS network will, if it is created, if it can provide a forum for exchanges among the related stakeholders in identifying the common issues and find the new opportunities. Yes. And within this network, the activities like regular meetings among stakeholders and publishing and video production on MIDAS cases and best practice, these kind of activities could be carried out. So I heard that maybe there is a flyer to introduce the first MIDAS case book will be soon come out, right? So maybe during the discussion time, the GCIDA will introduce this first case book of MIDAS, I guess. So this was my presentation. So thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shim, for your insightful keynotes on MIDAS. Now we move to our first case study presentation, multi-designated UNESCO properties in the US Biosphere Network. We are pleased to welcome Dr. Chris Groves, representing the USBN.
Right. Well, it's my pleasure to be here. My regular job is as a professor. I'm used to speaking to large rooms. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Great. Thank you. I worked closely with Mammoth Cave National Park in the United States, and I became interested in this topic because Mammoth Cave is a World Heritage Site and an International Biosphere Reserve. And I'd very much like to express my appreciation to Junming Lee and her colleagues, and then also the Korean National Committee to be here. And also my co-authors, Cliff McCready, John Putnam, and Sarah Gaines. Awesome. Right. Great. I want to start with a personal observation. We're here for conservation, obviously, but when I think of UNESCO, to me, the most important word is peace. And the reason I say this is that the reason that UNESCO exists is after a terrible war in which many millions of people were killed, in 1945, a group of people sat down in England and they said, what can we do for this never to happen again? And one of the answers was to find ways for the people of the world to learn about each other and to better understand one another. And that's what we're doing today. So I'd just like for us to remember that peace is really why we're here. So the Alistair MacLeish wrote in the Constitution, since wars began in the minds of men, there may have been women involved, it is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be constructed. And this is by us learning about one another. So, of course, we are here for conservation. And so one of the mechanisms or one of the goals for UNESCO is protecting the world's most special places. And I'm so excited to collaborate with our partners, because the way I see this is each of these designations, World Heritage or MAB, designates the world's most special places. The combination means these are the best of the best. And so that's what we're celebrating here today. So in the United States, we have variable support for UNESCO programs. And you may know that we got bad news recently that the U.S. will once again leave UNESCO at the end of next year. However, with the unequal or uneven government support, we still have very active participation in UNESCO conservation programs. So there are 28 biosphere reserves in the United States, covering a variety of landscapes. And I'm happy to say that there is a very active network, the U.S. Biosphere Network. Even though that we do not have support from the U.S. government currently, this is a volunteer community of practice. There is a steering committee that meets regularly. We have the working group with representatives of all 28 biosphere regions that we meet once every 3 months for meetings. So it actually is a very active group. I'm sorry to say that until recently, there were some positions, some staff. There was the U.S. government supported a full-time position for the U.S. Biosphere Network, also a full-time position for World Heritage, and this was through the National Park Service. However, just earlier this year, those programs were eliminated. So obviously that's terrible news. However, the good news is that this is largely a volunteer organization, and so we do it. Sarah, my colleagues, we're here not because it's our job, but this is our passion. And I'm very blessed to say that Cliff McCready, who was the National Park Service liaison, for the government, and John Putnam, who ran the World Heritage Program for the United States, even though they both lost their jobs a few months ago when those programs were eliminated, they're still very much engaged, just from their own passion. So we have a lot of benefits in this way. There are 26 World Heritage sites in the United States, 13 natural, 12 cultural, and 1 mixed. We don't have any that are all 4, like Jeju, I am happy to say that, in a way, I'm happy to say that the Everglades has 3 designations. I'm unhappy to say this is also our one threatened World Heritage Site because of ecosystem threats, let's say, down in Florida. There are 41 Ramsar wetlands in the United States. Now, until recently, as I said, both the World Heritage and the Man in the Biosphere programs were managed, or at least the U.S. government participation was through the National Park Service. Ramsar was administered, or the U.S. government participation was through the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And the same with the Park Service. There currently is not staff managing the Ramsar site. So these are done individually, and as we negotiate these changes, we're kind of working to figure out what these things will look like moving forward. So if we look at the MIDAs or MIDAs, there are 7 biosphere regions that are World Heritage Sites. Now, even though there is a very active U.S. Biosphere network, we really don't have an equivalent organization for World Heritage. There's kind of a reporting procedure, but now, again, with the changes, we're not exactly sure what that looks like moving forward. I'd like to note the location of Mammoth Cave. I will talk a little bit about Mammoth Cave as a MIDA, but I just wanted to note the geography there in the southeastern United States. There are 3 biosphere regions that are also Ramsar wetlands, and of course this includes the Everglades. So to talk a little bit about Mammoth Cave, as the name cave would imply, this is a fantastic example of a karst landscape, one with caves, sinkholes, big underground rivers. These are landscape aquifer systems that are formed in relatively soluble bedrock, and the principal feature in that area is that Mammoth Cave is the longest known cave anywhere in the world and still being explored. Some news is that may be changing. The second longest cave and the 4th longest cave in the world are in Mexico in the Yucatan Peninsula, and now it's the situation that they are still being explored, and if they connect, they will be more than 100 kilometers longer than Mammoth Cave. So, but as of today, this is the longest known cave anywhere in the world. We have, this is the Biosphere region. The core area is Mammoth Cave National Park, administered, of course, through the National Park Service. And then we have the cooperative area and the interaction area. And this is particularly important at Mammoth Cave, because one of the characteristics of these types of landscapes is that groundwater is very, very vulnerable to contamination. So because the water, the ground is just so dissolved out that in many cases rainwater landing on the surface goes straight down into the subsurface, and that can also carry pollution and agricultural contamination. And so the core area, the national park, when it was originally formed, that was the known extent of the Mammoth Cave system. Now we know it extends far beyond the national park, and so particularly to the south, there the interaction area, as it's labeled here, that's an area of lots of agriculture and area that's draining pollution into the national park. So of course, MAB, one of the key features is not simply to protect the environment, but is to understand the relationship between people and the environment. People need to make a living. Sometimes I joke that the best way to protect the resource is to gather everybody up and make them move to another place. That's not going to happen. And so people are part of the ecosystem here. I should also point out that because of the aquifer systems, we have an extra landscape. And so we have this subsurface ecosystem. This is one of the cave-adapted fish. There are endangered species in the subsurface. And so it's much more complicated to try to protect these resources. Our colleague, Dr. Sheen, excuse me, just gave an excellent overview of the benefits and challenges of these multi-designation places. I'd say primarily for the U.S., for the national parks, the benefits are that people, this sign at the entrance to the park, and people coming in, even if they don't know very much about UNESCO, they see this as a World Heritage Site, and they see this as a Biosphere Reserve, and they know it's a very special place. And so this gives that designation or that sense of pride or sense of value that we very much value, both the management and the public, I think. The main challenge is that at Mammoth Cave and at other such sites in the United States, it's people. There are no staff whose full-time job is to manage these sites. Mammoth Cave is managed both the national park, as a biosphere region and as a World Heritage Site. Are managed largely by the staff of the national park. And so they have to do the reporting, the management, just along with their normal duties. And so it's a challenge to do this. Also, as was pointed out, there's different governance structures in terms of reporting. There's different areas of overlap. And so there are some challenges to managing these systems. And with that, I kind of like to come back to my original slide. And the value of UNESCO is the original purpose is us learning about one another. I think that the principal, in my personal opinion, the principal value or benefit of UNESCO is exactly this today. All of us have never been in the same room together before. And there are so many combinations of people, not just at the meetings, but having some coffee together, being on a field trip together, and the combinations of opportunities that come from this are just fantastic. And I appreciate the opportunity to participate. And I guess with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions if there's still any time. All right, thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing your presentation. We will have Q&A session later. Thank you very much. Next, we will hear the Huangshan case study from China. Please welcome Ms. Lenzhi Chen, engineer at the Geopark Office, Huangshan Geopark Administrative Committee.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Chen Runze, and I work for the Geopark Office in the Mount Huangshan Scenic Area Administrative Committee. And today I'm going to show you some information about our committee and also the efforts we have done to enhance the integration of UNESCO designations. So a very brief introduction about Huangshan. Well, Huangshan is a granite mountain range, very famous in China, and it's located in Huangshan City, Anhui Province. Not very far from here. It takes less than 2 hours by train. And the official management in Huangshan starts in the 1930s, and now the mountain is managed by our committee. And you can see here are the most important designations we have. And as you see on the map, the right boundary is for our National Scenic Area, the World Heritage Site, and the IUCN Green List Protected Area. And the blue part is for our geopark, and the yellow one is of our Biosphere Reserve. So they have different boundaries, but we can see here the situation is not that complicated. It's just one bigger than another. But according to the master plan of Mount Huangshan Scenic Area, only the green area is managed solely by our committee, and the rest of the areas are managed by the committee and the surrounding communities because the land ownership is different. And we have signed agreements, co-management agreements with those communities. And this co-management model has been practiced for decades already. So the committee has developed a very good and mature relationship with those communities. And okay, as I mentioned, the mountain is managed by our committee, but the committee cares mainly about the conservation of the mountain. And the committee is a public institution, technically, but in effect, it is actually more like a government, but not government. But the committee is established by the Anhui provincial government in 1988. And it is under the lead of the Huangshan municipal government. And whoever the mayor of the Huangshan city serves as a top leader of our committee. And the legal status of the committee is confirmed by two documents. The first one is the master plan of Mount Huangshan Scenic Area, which is approved by the State Council. And the next one is the management regulation of Mount Huangshan Scenic Area. And this is, both of them have legal effect. And for the commercial operations within the mountain, it was mainly run by two state-owned companies, and they are Huangshan Tourism Developed Corporation and Huangshan Tourism Group. Both of these companies are independent, but actually they are also under the lead of our committee. And every year they will report to us, and the committee will assign some tasks or objectives to those two companies, like how many visitors or how much income we expect, or to build a new road, to improve their platform for the online platform for visitors. And the main business the two companies down are selling the entrance ticket, and they also run some hotels, shuttle bus, and cable cars, and souvenir shops in the scenic area. And also they care about the sanitation. And among those business, the income of the entrance tickets and the cable car will be partly contributed to our committee. And this is the main funding resource of our committee. Okay, back to the introduction of our committee. Well, the main functions of the committee is firstly, develop and implement the master plan of Mount Huangshan Scenic Area, and conserve and sustainably use natural resources in the mountain, and build and maintain infrastructures. And we also offer many public services, like we supervise the traffic order, tourism order, and the cultural markets. We also care about public security and food and medicine safety. And we also do some promotion and education work for the conservation of Mount Huangshan. So now the committee has more than 800 staff members. They are in the 15 departments, sorry. So according to the functions, I recategorize those departments like this. So we have the political department, they care about human resource, and we have economic development bureau, economic audit bureau for finance, and the animals and plants and geology is cared by the Forestry Bureau, Planning and Land Use Bureau. And as for public order, we have the Police Bureau on our committee, and the Transportation Bureau, Administration for Market Regulation, Comprehensive Law Enforcement Bureau, and also People's Armed Forces. And we also have the Publicity Department, Staff Union, the Committee Office, and some Party Affairs departments. And under those departments, we also have many offices, but I will not mention each of them here. But among those offices, we have 3 UNESCO designation offices. The BR office is in the Forestry Bureau, and now there are 4 people in the office. And we have Heritage Office and Geopark Office in the Planning and Land Use Bureau. But these 3 offices is more like a transmission channel between the committee and the UNESCO authorities. So the things they do is mainly, firstly, direct communication with UNESCO, and they prepare their evaluation documents. And we also give advices to other departments to be aligned with each designation's criteria. And we also do some of the research and educations for the entire mountain. So our strength in MIDA management is, firstly, we have a powerful institution. We have a legal status. It ensures the rights to govern this territory. And we have the legal documents which clarify the role of each government. The governments at different levels, from the state level to the regional level. And we are one committee for the 3 designations. And the second strength is we got multi-support from the government, the state companies, and communities. So, but we are also facing some challenges. As you can see, all of these 3 designations, they have a different reporting system and different period. And for Huangshan, in some years, maybe we have 2 evaluations together. So it could be arduous for us to prepare those documents for evaluations. And although the 3 designations, they have different focus, but I think they have the same ultimate goal, that is sustainable development and the harmony between man and the nature. So they have so many things in common, I think. For example, they all require education program events. So before, the 3 offices of our designations, they have their own activities for education. And that is kind of repetitive input. And now we don't have a staff member who's really get into very familiar with all of these 3 designations. And sometimes those 3 designations may lead in confusion of visitors and communities, because there are still a lot of people, they don't know what is a biosphere reserve, what is a global geopark. I think the World Heritage Site is most famous in China, and we're not very familiar with the other 2. And some people may think, is Huangshan Biosphere Reserve or Huangshan Global Geopark a different place? So something like that. So to enhance the integration of the 3 UNESCO designations, we have introduced the IUCN Green List standard. Well, I see the standard is more like a basic logic management approach to ensure effectiveness of your management. And we can use it as a checklist to see if our management are on the right track, or is there something we are missing or something we can do better, no matter which designations we're talking about. And we also build an integrated monitoring system. This system is for internal use. It's an online system. And every year, every offices, they will submit their data, their information to the system. And for example, when we have evaluation preparation, we need information. We just go into the system and retrieve it. So it cut off a lot of communication, coordination among different departments. And this system is not only a tool for preparation of evaluation. The system was built with the help with the Tsinghua University. It's a top university in China. And every year, they will give us a report based on the information they got in the system, and they will give us advice for better management. And we also have developed a synergy mechanism for the three offices. And the goal is to promote efficiency and enhance resource conservation in the mountain and boost international influence of Huangshan. And the synergy's main content is first, we have built a leader team. The leader team can ensure the cohesion and the implementation of the mechanism. And then we have an advisory committee. We have invite experts in China in the different fields of heritage, biology, earth science, and protected area. And in the document, we have set forth that we should have regular meeting among the three offices. And we also have capacity building lectures for our staff members. And we also have done many interdisciplinary researches. And this research is done by multi-departments. And we also have some universities to help us. We have Tsinghua University, Peking University, China University of Geoscience. They are all top universities in China. And these crossover researches can also bring different departments in our committee together. And we can also get professional support through their connections. And as I mentioned before, the education may be a repetitive input of the UNESCO designations. So we have integrated our education project into one project, and the one is named as the Huangshan Nature Lecture. And during the last 5 years, the lecture has held more than 90 sessions, and 4,500 family and 200,000 people are involved. And the lecture is for the entire Huangshan city. It includes every aspect of Huangshan. It includes the biology, geology, culture, and also the 3 UNESCO designations information. And we have also redesigned our English website. In the past, the website is only shows only the information about our national scenic area, and yeah, maybe a little bit of Global Geopark, because this website is managed by our Geopark office. So, but now the website have all of these 3 designations, and we also have some information about the UN SDG something like that. And we also have held international conferences. It was named as the Huangshan Dialogue. And normally we hold this conference every 2 years. And we have got the support from HIST, HIST, the World Heritage Center, MAB, and Global Geopark Network. It's a exchange platform for all the UNESCO designations, and we hope we can, using this conference, we can bring people in different area together and to communicate. Also, to bring people together, we have initiated a forum for the UNESCO MIDA site. Yeah, MIDA site. I think during 2020 to from 2020 to 2023, we have held several online meetings to exchange our experience in MIDA management, and we got support from Shenongjia, Jeju Island also, Chilento, Azores, and Ngro, and also some other geoparks, I think. Well, the second point is in 2023, Mr. Kim Yangbo, I think he's also from Jeju Island. He contacted us and he said that the UNESCO is prepared a guidebook for MIDA site and hope we can contribute to the book. So he visited us personally, and we exchanged our experience, and we also sent a very detailed information about our MIDA's management. So basically, all of the things we were done is to bring people together, to communicate. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chen, for introducing the MIDA practice in Huangshan. Our final case study will be from the Republic of Korea. Dr. Jong-gap Kim, team manager of the Biosphere Reserve and UNESCO Global Geopark at Jeju Self-Governing Province, will share the Jeju MIDA case.
Good afternoon. My name is Jong-gap Kim, the team manager of the Biosphere Reserve on the UNESCO Global Geopark in Jeju Island. I'm here to show you how to Jeju Special Self-Governing Province managers MIDAS on the Iceland. This presentation has been designed to give to our overview of the Jeju MIDAS. Then it will focus on each UNESCO designation on the Jeju Island in detail. Lastly, in the integrated management approach currently being implemented by Jeju Special Self-Governing Province to be presented. Jeju Island was first designated as a biosphere reserve in 2002. In 2019, the designation was expanded to include the entire terrorist area Jeju Island, as well as the surrounding marine zone within 5.5 kilometers. Sorry. In 2007, Jeju Volcano Island is lava tube is inscribed on the World Natural Heritage List. The heritage area covers about 180 square kilometers, which accounted for around 10% of Jeju Island's total area. The large portal is Hanlasan National Park. The second portal features Seongsan Ilchulbong Tubukon. And the last two portals, part of the Geumeunorum lava tube system is Manjang Cube and Yongchundonggul Cave. Jeju Island three major UNESCO designation is a global geopark. Designated back in 2010, the entire island a geopark within 13 representative sites. Let's develop into the management practice of Jeju Island's MIDAs. First, the Biosphere Reserve. This includes branding, ecotourism village, revitalization project, the operation of the ecological experience education program. To utilize branding, Jeju Island announced a new application for products and processed goods produced in the Biosphere Reserve boundary. The project enables local business to promote their products as eco-friendly, one from environmental product area recognized by UNESCO. The second is ecotourism village revitalization project. This project selects a sport village for 5 years. The ultimate goal of this project to establish ecotourism model led by the resident. Up to now, four village has been selected throughout. Senators, thank you. Ecological experience programs as carry out raise awareness is Biosphere Reserve. This education program invites both students and citizens on the island is held more than 50 times a year. Finally, Jeju Islands host the Secretariat of the World Network Island and Coastal Biosphere Reserve. Two secretariats, one in Jeju and the other Menorca in Spain, work together and network currently consider of 55 members in the 37 countries. The next one is management of the World Natural Heritage. I will present in the following orders. Periodic monitoring on the World Natural Heritage is continuous, assess and change, and accumulated data are expected to enable to the predict change. We also find out understanding the academic value of the World Natural Heritage Site. This result of the academic research on the value of those sites has been published in the paper and the report. To maintain the value of the World Natural Heritage Site, recommendations made by UNESCO are being implemented. One of the recommendations was on the purchase of the privately owned land within designated area and 71% those private land privately has been acquired and it's being expanded every year. In order to efficiently manage tourism and its impact, a reservation system has been implemented to the limit to the time and the number of visitors. And in accordance with the purchase of a privately owned land, agricultural activity above caves is being regulated. Lastly, expansion on the World Heritage recommendation from the 42nd session on the World Heritage Community, he presented some recommendations. And Jeju Island is considering designation additional significant lava tube system and the volcano future in the Jeju Island as a World Heritage Site. For the management, UNESCO Global Geopark. Let's go over some key practice in the following orders. First, product and management on the geological heritage. Throughout continuous monitoring, change in geological heritage and documented. And the geopark infrastructure such as information center and signboards and maintained. Next topic is public awareness geopark. We raise public awareness Jeju Geopark by publishing various informative and educational material continuous. Those material is mostly aimed for visitor and the student awake. And we have developed a picture book for low grade using familiar animated characters for better understanding. Also, we are constantly make report to present the academic value of the geopark. Next is education activity. Education is a core value of the UNESCO Global Geopark. So we operate the various educational programs to spread this value. This topic is sustainable development. As part of the sustainable development, we are planning an event with the local residents and establish plans for regional development. GeoTrail is the most representative project for sustainable development. We have developed a total of 6 GeoTrail courses. Based on the trail course, we have been holding the Geopark Trail Festival since 2011. Travel event is held 3 times a year in the representative geosite village. Jeju Island Geopark work together with the villagers to form the program for the GeoTrail Festival and strives to reflect unique culture of the region. Next, let me introduce the GeoBrand project. We successfully started the cooperation activity with the residents throughout GeoTrail. We have the activity promoted the GeoBranding project since 2019. For integrated management, Jeju Special Self-Governing Province has enacted on the ordinance for integrated management. The UNESCO World Heritage Management Community has been established by the ordinance. It consists of the 3 sub-community make up report from each other division. So Jeju World Natural Heritage Center service as a hub for integrated management of Jeju Island multi-international designated area. The center offers a device program remoting the value of the door site. Jeju Island has management organization for the integrated management. Under the umbrella of the World Heritage Headquarters, two departments take on the late task. Jeju Island plans to build a unified platform for data management and focus on integrated branding and promotion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kim, for highlighting Jeju's valuable experiences. Now we will move into a short open discussion, which will take the form of a Q&A session. If you have any questions or comments for our speakers, please feel free to raise your hands. I will invite you to speak, and our presenter will be happy to respond. If you have questions or any opinions, please raise your hand. And Korean is okay. So 한국어로 질문해 주셔도 상관없으시거든요. 제가 통역 도와드리겠습니다. 제가 먼저 질문 하나. So I would like to ask you a question first. To the Dr. Professor Chris. In terms of the practical management in the Mammoth Cave, who is responsible for managing the site? So MPS or community or the local governments?
Yeah, so the question for Mammoth Cave is who's responsible for managing the area. Primarily, because it is a U.S. national park, the management is through the National Park Service. So there's a superintendent. So one person is in charge, and then has his staff, and so that's really the management of the property. The community is involved through MAB, the Man in the Biosphere, but it really is the National Park Service in that case. Different biosphere reserves, or biosphere regions, or biosphere reserves. Some are national parks, and some are other types of designations. But the ones that are national parks, it's the National Park Service. Thank you.
So is there a link to the international designations on the ground level governance or management with the National Park Service?
No, it just really, through, as I mentioned, the Man in the Biosphere program is just really not currently supported by the U.S. government, and so or World Heritage, we have no geoparks. So yeah, that's so the international designations or the international relationships are really through volunteer efforts through the MAB program.
Thank you for your answer.
In addition, is that working? In addition to the 4 designations which are recognised, has any consideration been given to other designations? And the one I'm thinking about is like protection of our night sky from light pollution.
Is this the question to me or to the speakers?
Yeah, I can comment on that. Just from the experience at Mammoth Cave, it is actually designated by the International, I think, Dark Skies Association, but that's really just it's an initiative through the National Park Service, because in the eastern United States, dark skies are a problem just because of the light pollution, and in that part of Kentucky, it just happens to be that there's a relatively large area of forest. So the national park has worked with both within the national park to get certain light fixtures, and then also working with local communities. That's a very interesting question, because part of that relationship is related to MAB in the sense that it's not just protecting the landscape, but it's the sustainability of the economic development also. So part of the motivation for the designation through the International Dark Skies Association is when tourists come, they spend money in the day and they spend money in the evenings. So that's part of that sustainability. So yeah, great question. But that's for Mammoth Cave, and so it would be different at each different location. But yeah, thank you.
Yes, my name is Hyun. I'm from South Korea, and I'm the park. I'm a park ranger and a superintendent of the Srasa National Park. And as you know well, Mr. Professor, the national park system has been introduced to all the members of the UN by the resolution of UNESCO. UNESCO in 1959 in Mexico City, there was a resolution that to protect the ecosystems and or habitats which was devastated by the two big world wars. So there, at the time there was only the natural park system, which was created by U.S. There was the unique at the time. There was a unique the measure or tools to recover those devastated nature. So, but you know, after that, from the 1971 or 72, this kind of other programs like MAB, MAP, and or World Heritage, and Ramsar. Which one?
Park.
Geopark, yes, recently Geopark, but you know this kind of program in my park, so in Srasa National Park of South Korea, you have a natural heritage or cultural heritages, and also wetlands inside the park, and as I have also around the 200 staffs, naturalists, historian, and also some kind of experts in my unit. So if I want to just hear, I just want to hear your private, personal opinion about if we can really do well in managing the national park. Other kinds of program will not be. That kind of programs should be exist together with the national park system. I just want to hear your own philosophy about that. Thank you.
No, you're exactly right. And one of the challenges that was when the benefits and challenges of these multi-designation sites was the fragmented management, and it makes perfect sense that there would be synergy, to have cooperation in these different, different entities. I guess at least from my view in the United States, and I don't know really how this translates in other countries. But it's related to the national political system, and the administrations change every 4 years, and so just like with UNESCO, the U.S. join, quit, and so it's one of the challenges is for the national parks, the time scale should be forever. It's protecting these things for generations and generations. The administrations are in chunks of administrators, and over years. And so I think that's really one of the problems is that continuity And you're right, it makes absolutely perfect sense. But really, how to translate that when the decision makers are changing from time to time and the priorities are changing. Yeah, you're exactly right. Thank you.
Cool.
My name is Do Sun-cho from MAP National Committee of Republic of Korea. My question is directed to Ms. Chen. I know that in China, many famous sites have multi-designations, like more than 15 domestic and international designations. And you said that usually one administration manages all the same area. And I think different designations have different purposes. How can you distinguish those purposes with just one administration? How can you increase the different, fulfill the different functions of different designations?
Well, I'm not very familiar with other sites, but take Huangshan for example. I think Geopark, BR, and the World Heritage, they just have different focus. Like the Geopark focus mainly on geology, and because we are a mixed heritage site, the heritage cares about nature and culture, and the BR, they cares about biology, the entire ecosystem. But actually, all of the three designations, they have the same ultimate goal. They want to achieve the harmony between human and nature, and they all want to be sustainably development. So I don't see any conflicts between them, among them. They just care about different sectors in the world, I think. So, and the three sectors, biology, culture, human, geology, they are all linked, and together they constitute the real world. So it's a coordinate, concerted efforts. Yeah, they have to be. It's like I think it's like experts to expert things, and together we can make a better world, better invasion. There's no conflict between them.
Good afternoon. I'm Won-sik Cho from Korea National Park Service. Thanks for your interesting presentation about MIDAs. I have a question as a manager of MIDAs. Also, it can be a question to Dr. Shim. It is a bit similar with Dr. Jo's question. Upon my experience, it seems very effective way to manage MIDAs as one big group of joint planning, like Huangshan manages its MIDAs under the name of Scenic Area Administrative Committee, and also Jeju World Heritage Center does kind of similar role. But I just worry about that one big group means losing its own uniqueness. I mean, each protected area has its own protection characteristics, but it can be getting blended under the name of efficiency. Sometimes there might be some negative trade-off between two different protected areas. So how can we overcome this kind of problem as a manager of MIDAs?
It's a question for me, or? Or Ms. Chen, could you please? Okay. So, to be honestly, I haven't get you clearly.
So what I mean is that Global Geopark itself has its own characteristics. Like, for me, Geopark, like, it can use its own things. Really, I mean, we can use the stone as a gift to other people, like that ways in Korea exactly. But as a national park service or types of the protected area, we cannot use that kind of things really. But it can be a negative trade-off between different protected areas. So for me, that kind of thing has happened sometimes in Korea. So how about this kind of problem? It's kind of example for me, but
So do you mean the how to protect the site in this I mean regarding in terms of MIDAS concept?
그러면 한글로
네, 한국어로.
간단하게
Korean.
좀 해드리면 두 개의 다른 보호 지역 간에 상충되는 것들이 발생할 수 있어요. 예를 들어서 지질공원 같은 경우에는 지질공원에서는 어떤 그 사이트에서 나온 스톤을 이용해서 기념품을 만들어서 팔아도 되는데 예를 들어서 거기가 비알로 지정돼 있다거나 지질공원이 아닌 국립공원으로 지정돼 있다고 하면 두 개에 부딪히는 상충되는 트레이드오프가 발생할 수 있거든요. 그래서 그런 것들에 대한 것을 어떻게 극복하고 있는지를 물어보고 싶었고 네, 저는 국립공원 직원이자 파크레인저로서 이런 것들이 앞으로 우리 매니저들한테는 어떤 식으로 극복할 수 있는지 이런 것들을 그거에 대해서 궁금한 건데
Okay.
사실은 굉장히 너무 어려울 것 같아서 질문이.
I think his question is so there are different a priority to manage the different international designations. So like Geopark has their own priority and like BR also have their own priority, but sometimes it can make a conflict between them. So how to like guide the site managers to make a balance between the conflict?
In the actual practice in Huangshan, we haven't met any conflicts actually. In terms of the, for example, like your example, the geosource usage. Well, I think no matter which designations, it has to be under the. It has to be consistent with our national laws, and according to our national laws, the geology in a protected area, the geological resources in the protected area is not allowed to sell, sold, or as a gift, but as a gift under permission only. So no matter which designations you are, so if you have our permission, you can use the geology, the stones, and I know they have different priority of the different designations, but I don't see any conflicts. I mean I know the Biosphere Reserve they maybe cares more about animal and geology, cares about the stones, but I don't see the conflicts.
I appreciate your question because that's a new idea for me as I was thinking about the challenges. One is different priorities, different management, but you're right. There could be some that they're actually in conflict, and so and that's just a fantastic example where in protected areas things just cannot be modified, but maybe for a geopark. That's actually the purpose. So that's a great question. I don't know what the answer is, but that's yet another thing. Thank you very much.
Please.
More. As Chen mentioned before, all UNESCO or international designations are managed and operated based on the national law. There are no international kind of laws suppressing the national laws. So those kind of use of resources are done by the national law. So I think it doesn't have to be there are no conflicts or something like that. So maybe we can say it's a competition of priority or goals, competition of activities between geoparks and Biosphere. It happens, I see. So, for instance, kind of guide programs, geo guide programs are more popular in Korea now. So, but the Biosphere reserve are still very inactive, something like. So maybe you can say you may think about this competition instead of conflict.
Yeah, if I may, I'll also point out that makes me think, I don't want to really get too much into politics, but politics drives this. And one thing that's clear is in my discussion is the uneven support of the U.S. government at different times for these programs. And what that makes me think of is part of the reason for that. Because I see all these countries here, like China, with fantastic support, and part of the problem in the United States, and this is not my opinion, this is a fact, is the sovereignty, is the idea that UNESCO does not have any legal authority, in any country, and in the United States, with different administrations with different priorities. That's one of the reasons that I think that there has not been more U.S. government support. Sometimes it has been good, but ideas that people are threatened because they don't understand. UNESCO doesn't have any legal authority, but there are conservative people maybe that say, well, they're not going to come in and tell us what to do, and so that's part of the problem. Yeah, thank you for your question.
제주 사례를 좀 말씀드리자면 이게 다중 국제 보호 지역 같은 경우는 모든 것이 이제 보전이 우선이지 않습니까? 그래서 관련된 법이 있고 그 법에 따라서 이제 움직여야 되기 때문에 기본적으로 보전을 우선으로 하기 때문에 이제 만들어진 다중 국제 보호 지역이기 때문에 거기에 대한 뭐 상충되는 법하고 부딪힌다 그러면 우리가 다치겠죠. 그래서 그런 부분들을 잘 고려해서 운영한다 그러면 또 그렇게 문제가 되지 않을 것 같아요.
Okay. Dr. Kim's answer is that because MIDAS has a shared goal, which is conservation, so we also have a national law, as Ms. Chen said. So because of the shared goal, we can wisely manage this competition of between different international designations. Yeah, because of the time limit, so we are gonna finalizing the session. As we come to the end of today's session, I'd like to sincerely thank all of you and your active participation. We have prepared tea and coffee and refreshments there, so please take this opportunity to relax, continue your conversation, and build new connection between all of us. So we hope you enjoy the time. And before we finish, why don't we take a group photo together? So please come to the stage.